Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So recently the new Natasha Denona Super Glows became available on Selfridges, so I was straight over there getting my hands on this bad boy. After the Amrezy highlight, I really felt like I was never gonna buy another highlight again. I feel like I never needed another one again. And then I saw these being swatched and I watched people's reviews and I needed it. That's how I felt. So today I wanted to help out anyone who's feeling the same, anyone who's tempted by these. Is it worth it? Do you have any dupes? Let's swatch it against every highlight that I have that may or may not be similar to check that out. And I'm gonna show you it on my cheeks and we'll decide together whether you need this or not. I'm here to help you. So here she is. I picked up the shade 2, which is the light to medium shade. There she is in close up. It is just stunning. I love the packaging. It feels heavy. It's really beautiful, though it's got my handprints all over it. Sorry about that. But it is expensive. Do you really need another highlight? I mean, it's a huge pan as well. Like, it's basically the size of like my whole hand. And the mirror inside is huge as well. So that's really, really handy. Now, shade-wise, I knew that 3, which is the bronzy shade, wasn't gonna be for me. I think it's gonna be too dark for me. And also, it's more of a sort of goldy tone, which isn't my favorite when it comes to highlights. I prefer a champagne or a pink. So shade-wise, I was confused, very confused between 1 and 2. But from what I've seen, comparison swatches, people using it on, as far as shade, it's almost identical. They look very, very similar, especially when you've put them on your cheeks or on your face. There is almost no discernible difference. The only difference, as far as that I've seen from the reviews I've watched, which is many, is that shade 1 is more of a like boom highlight, like beaming from the gods from the first swipe. So if you are looking to be like seen from space, 1 is probably going to be your best bet. Shade 2, from what I saw, was much more of a melted into your skin, glow from within, wet look highlight, less glitter, but not quite as powerful. So that's why I chose shade 2. It just sounds more like my type of highlight. So I'm going to show you it on the face and then we'll do some comparison swatches. I'm using my Morphe M501 and I'm just going to go in. You can see it picks up quite a lot of product, but there's no real kickback. I'm not going to tap this off because I don't really need to. It's not like a mega crazy glow. So you can see it really does melt into the skin really nicely, and you can build this up to be blinding. You can certainly use this with some Fix Plus if you wanted even more, but I just love the fact that it melts into my skin. It blends so nicely in. It doesn't exaggerate my texture as much as lots of highlights do. And the shade is like perfect for my skin tone. It just doesn't leave any like color to the skin. There's no sort of stripe of highlight. It doesn't sit on top of my skin as far as the shade. It's literally like the sort of underlying shade of the product is like the same as my skin. This brush is shedding, so don't mind that. So I'm now going to put this above the arch of my brow. I will tap off my chin because I like it a little more subtle there. Down the bridge of my nose. I particularly like this there because I just feel like it's the perfect shade. I feel like down my nose, I don't want it to look gold or anything like that. I just literally want it to look like light, which it really does in my opinion. Just going to switch brush for my inner corner, and this is the Zoeva 238. And I'm going to pop this in the inner corners for a little pop there. What I absolutely adore about this and feel like is quite unique about it is that it is really beaming but natural, if that makes sense. It blends so nicely in with my skin and in with my makeup that it doesn't look like, bam, she's gone nuts with highlight. It just literally looks like the light is being incredibly kind to me today. It literally looks like just light is hitting all the perfect spots on my face, and it's just such luminosity and glow, but it's smooth and it's like melts into your skin so beautifully. For me, that's kind of the special thing about it. I was trying to zoom out by turning my lights down. Not effective. Okay, so now I'm going to show you some side-by-side swatches, which will hopefully help you decide if you've got something similar. So this is the Natasha Denona Super Glow, and this is the Mary Luminizer from The Balm. Mary Lou is definitely lighter and more champagne, whereas the Natasha Denona is a bit warmer, definitely more beaming, more shimmering, more glowy than the Mary Lou. Next up is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighting Powder in the shade Golden Flower Crown. So that's this one here. Much golder and a bit darker. More sort of bigger glitter, I would say. Less wet, more bling. Next up, this is Becca and Jaclyn Hill's Champagne Pop. So again, more of a sort of goldy tone, but a little bit closer, I guess, to the shade of the Natasha Denona. So we're in Natasha Denona, Mary Luminizer from The Balm, the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Golden Flower Crown, and the Becca Champagne Pop. Now this is the Amrezy by Anastasia Beverly Hills. And this is probably the closest in shade so far to the Natasha Denona. A hair sort of lighter and I think more sparkle versus glow. Max Whisper of Guilt now, again a bit darker, a bit more gold, but a very similar sort of wet glow. Again, when you look them side by side, they have a similar sort of finish. This is Stila's Kitten. This is the like putty highlighter, the Heaven's Hue highlighter in the shade Kitten. This is very different. Obviously it's quite a different formula. It's much pinkier in tone. And last but not least, this is the Hourglass Champagne Flash Stick highlighter, so the cream stick highlighter, which is a very similar shade actually to the Mary Luminizer, but this is obviously a cream. To me, these all look pretty different. I guess maybe the closest is Max Whisper of Guilt as far as the finish. The Amrezy, that's probably the one that is the closest shade-wise. My arm is really aching. I will also say that this looks stunning in direct sunlight and natural daylight. I will show you some photos of that, and I really just hope that this was helpful if you're trying to decide whether you want to pick this up and whether it's worth the money to you. To me, it absolutely is. I'm obsessed with it. I love it. I think it's probably my new favorite highlighter ever, which was previously the Amrezy, but it is limited edition, which is very sad, so I can't repurchase it, whereas this one I believe is permanent. So this is my new all-time favorite. To me, it's totally worth it. But obviously, that is a personal decision. I really hope you found this helpful. If you did, please like and subscribe before you go so I can see you again. Otherwise, take care till next time. Bye, 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 bye.